Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. How are you, my friend? Hello, hi. I hope you're hydrated. I hope you're moving your body. I hope you're feeling well. And no matter how you're feeling, no matter how you're dropping in today, I see you. I hear you. You are welcome here. And if you're new here, I'm so happy that we have finally connected, that you have found this space. Hello, welcome. This is such a good episode. And if you're a returning listener, part of the community, seriously, I love you. Thank you so much for being here, for being the type of seeker on this wild ride of beautiful growth and healing and messiness and victory and celebration and confusion and healing. Did I say healing? All the things that go into personal transformation. I see you. Thank you so much for being here. And if you do love the show, especially if you've listened to more than one episode, it would mean the world to me if you could take a moment to subscribe to the show on your podcast and also, or on your podcast player. And also if you could leave a review. This is the thing that you can do that actually helps the show the most. And it would mean the world, especially if you do enjoy these episodes regularly. Thank you so much. And as always, if you know someone that needs this message, if you have a like-minded friend or bestie, share the episode with them, share the podcast with them, and then you guys can talk about these things, about being led by life and celebrating yourself and healing and manifestation and all the things we talk about here. So that would mean the world if you could consider either subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing the show. This is, again, the most that you can do. It means so much. I see your reviews, I read them, and it really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Okay, today's episode, this is a big one. Today we're talking about how to be led by life and the art of being led by life. A lot of people think about this like being led by life as synchronicities and signs. We're going to talk about that for sure. Angel numbers, intuitive nudges, things that open up, all these types of things. We're going to talk about it. Those are like the magical trail of breadcrumbs, basically, these synchronicities, these nudges, this like go this way, go that way type of guidance. And again, we're going to get all into that. And there's a little bit more to it as well, because life is always leading us in an upward spiral of growth. And so sometimes it's not always in the direction that we expect. And sometimes it can be really sneaky and it can be hard to read life. So a lot of you guys here, you're knee deep in this journey, right? You're awakening, personal transformation, changing your life, all the stuff. And so generally, most of you know what it feels like to get a very clear sign, or, you're looking for a job, and then this perfect job comes, or, you're trying to make a decision and you're leaning toward making a decision. Everywhere you go is 333s and, all these things. It becomes more clear, and we can usually from that place make a decision of like, yes, this is definitely what it feels like life is guiding me toward. And there are like other days or times in our lives when we're not getting those signs, where it really truly feels like we're like, okay, where's my eagle? Where's my feather? Where's my dime? Like, hello? And you just hear like, hello, hello. It's like, what is happening, right? So there's that whole part. And so to just say like, look for the signs, look for the synchronicities, sometimes that's not clear enough. Or you see an 1111 and you don't know what it means, right? So there's this whole other area of life leading you that is not super obvious, and it's not always in the direction that we expect. So this is really what we're going to get into today, all of that and more. Also at the end, I'm going to offer some reflection questions that you can ask yourself to really integrate this work. But I want to start out by saying that life is always leading you. We are always being led not just toward our dreams, but in an upward spiral of growth, as I was saying. So we're always activating more of who we are, a growing what we go through, as I like to say, or evolving. We are growing through things. And of course, we don't always have to choose that. Not everybody in life chooses to always grow through their traumas or grow through things. But people like you and I that are, self-proclaimed self-growth junkies and really are here for an expansive, big, meaningful life, we learn that, right? We've been through lots of shit in our earlier years and even not so earlier years that we've had to grow through. We've had to learn how to trust people again or show up for ourselves, self-love, self-care. We're navigating being in this body, wanting to make money or have a career or relationships. Like there's a lot that we're balancing all the time. And because you're here for a wild ride this time and a big expansive experience, life is going to be always leading you because your desire's high. So if as a soul and as a human, if a desire isn't strong to evolve and grow, you could live a fairly complacent, mediocre, even happy life. And we've all done that lots of times. But when you really are here for that phoenix experience, that caterpillar to butterfly, that, rising from the ashes type thing, you are going to always continue to be led to growth, to self-healing, to personal development, which is why you're here, literally on this podcast, but also why you've read the books you've read and all of that. Okay, I feel like we should just launch into the episode because there's obviously so much to say here. I'm so excited. So if you feel like life isn't totally making sense or you want to fine-tune your ability to be led by life, then this is definitely for you. So grab your water, grab your tea, grab your matcha, and let's dive into it. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm so excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life. My name is Talia Joy, and I am committed to showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to go on a magical journey of spiritual and self-growth to manifest the life you're meant for, we are now besties. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start with what it actually means to be led by life, or let's just kind of start with defining it. So as I go through this episode, when I'm saying led by life, if God feels more comfortable to you, or universe, or led by your higher self, I just like to say led by life, because life is the manifestation of whatever that higher power is, right? Like nature and the way that things unfold. That's the part of life that sometimes feels out of our hands. It feels like things just happen. Like life has a way of lifing you, right in the face. And life, sometimes they say life works in mysterious ways. Life throws you curveballs. So we're talking about being led by life, being led by what you experience. But my also personal connection, the way I see it, is I do believe that it is our higher self, our soul, our team of light, God, source, life force energy, Tao, that moves all of this, So to me, you may find me interchange with like universe or spirit or my team or whatever, but I really just mean being led by life. So I feel like you get that. So, okay, being led, it really involves a foundational understanding that I want to say, and then you can decide if it feels right for you, if you want to take it on. Life is unfolding for you. And when people say it's happening for you, not to you, I want to say that in the moment, it is very, very hard to see that sometimes. As soon as you lose a job and someone swoops in and goes like, well, it's happening for you. And it's like, what? Like, how is this happening for me, right? It's definitely not always obvious. So when I say that, I don't mean to like just gloss over stuff, but when you zoom way back, I do believe that life is always unfolding for you. So like I said in the intro, when you're somebody who has a strong desire for more, I want to be more successful, more purpose-filled, more healthy, with more connection and experience and more abundance, right? A lot of us are saying these things. So when this is the case, life is going to hear you and honor you by showing you that path. So we don't just say, I want more abundance. And then I've said this for years, but like, bam, sack of cash at the end of the driveway. Like I seriously wish. And definitely manifestations pop through where all of a sudden there's a bonus. All of a sudden there's unexpected. Like that absolutely happens. But you're also going to be offered a higher path of growth where you can unfold into a more confident, magnetic, however you want to say it. It's so hard because words are limiting, but more of who you are. That's the path you're going to be shown. And I know sometimes I might get kind of convoluted in my rants because I'm always translating energy, but don't worry, I'll bring it back around for anyone's like, what is she talking about? So this is where I truly believe that life at the end of our days, we're going to look back and really be able to see with different eyes, or maybe when we pass on and we look at it from a higher perspective, from a soul perspective, we're going to be able to look back and go, wow, what a magical mystery tour. And really, those really hard things taught me so much about myself. And because you're gritty like me and we don't give up and we're resilient AF, even when it doesn't feel like it, you have learned so much about yourself as time has gone on, so much self-growth, so many things that you've limiting beliefs that you've healed or you're now aware of, or deep traumatic things that have happened in your life that you've been able to move through and be functioning and integrating. And, there's so much that you've done. So in the end, when bad things happen, often, and I do believe it's all the time, but I just want you to be able to explore that for yourself. I believe there is something from it that we gain, even if it's on a personal level. Again, I don't want to, gloss over the really hard things that happen, but this is sort of the first foundational understanding that we just want to sort of flirt with and see if this resonates with you, that life is leading us to higher ground, especially because we're asking for more. So here's where most people get stuck. They think, and we think, that it should be clear. So oh, there's a sign, that's the way to go every time. So sometimes we're even waiting for signs for frickin' ever, because we're almost looking in the wrong direction for the sign. Whereas other things, we actually are getting the sign, or life is trying to guide us, but we're kind of looking for feathers or looking for 111s, but really it's coming from a different direction. This is where people feel like it should be clear, it should be obvious, but in reality, growth is messy and it's confusing, and it's often filled with challenges and roadblocks and obstacles, not because you're off track, but because growth is the track. Growth is the path. And as we start to trust in the things, the people, the experiences showing up in our world, often emotions as well, showing up in our world, we start to trust that they're there to shape us. They're there to show us something. And this is shaping you into the person that you're becoming. I often see it like refining. That's how my team likes to say it. It's kind of like a diamond. It looks like a regular rock, right? Regular-ish, until it's refined. And even in the earth, with all the pressure and all the time and all the heat and all the whatever it goes into it, it's a refining process. And so the things that come up, the people that come up, yes, the signs, synchronicities, but also the times that are frustrating, the times where we're stuck in patterns, those are there shaping you into the person you're becoming if you choose it. So I know some people might be thinking okay, but I still keep getting stuck in the same pattern of self-sabotage, or the same pattern with my health, or the same pattern with money or whatever. Is life really leading me? It's easy to be oh, life is leading you, bye. But the answer is yes, it is leading you. It's just asking you to learn the lesson, to see a little bit deeper. Right? Again, we started off by saying you're not new to self-growth. You know this stuff, really? So when we have an area that is pinchy, that is hard, that feels like we're in a pattern that we really don't like and we're frustrated, it's a growth assignment waiting to be cracked open. It's something that if you have a coach, a mentor, you do self-growth work, journaling, processing, going to a therapist, whatever it is, whether it's self-growth, self-learning, self-healing, or you have someone you go to, whatever, it's just this pattern has something in the center of it that is waiting to be seen and experienced and healed, so that you don't have to keep dealing with it. And that is the part where it is sometimes hard to see. And it's normal if people go yeah, how is this problem actually helping me? But sometimes we get into such a pattern, such a place where we become, I've done episodes in the past about this, we become sick of our own shit. And we break down and we go, okay, fine, what is it? And that is maybe when you dive deep into a self-development book, go to a coach, go to a mentor, go to a healer, whatever it is that is your path, to be I need some help here, or I'm going to dive into this trigger. I'm going to explore until I discover what is at the bottom of this, whether it is procrastination or binge eating or spending money more than you want or whatever. There's a root energetic cause. And sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's really, really deep, but this is part of being led by life. realizing that life is a way shower and we just learn how to read it. So we're going to go deeper into that in a second, but I want to talk for a second about signs and synchronicities, because this is the fun sort of aspect of it, like the light side of it. So signs, right? I love angel numbers. I love synchronicities. The other day I was driving and across my dashboard, I swear, like lit up, was like 7711, 777771. I was like, whoa. Okay, it wasn't that many kilometers on my car, but it just was such a cool like moment of like, whoa, all those sevens and all those ones. And I love that stuff. I love seeing signs. I have certain signs I ask for from the universe, or I have certain signs for like my loved ones that are in heaven, or certain signs that mean abundance. I love it. The other thing I want to say is sometimes signs don't point to like, I want to say like, ooh, there's a sign. I'm going to go that way. Bam, $1 million idea, right? The signs are often pointing to growth, as I've been saying, or this is the next step. So sometimes we take a sign and we think it should be the entire step, right, to get to the end result. But often it's the next step. So I want to give an example of, I had a client a few years ago and she was wanting to become healthier in her body with diet, nutrition. It involved a little bit of weight loss, but it was more just because she had, she wanted to detox and all this stuff. So she had decided, a friend of hers was doing a certain specific diet and she's like, I think I'm going to do this. So she was ready to go on this diet, do this thing. And she went in and did it for a couple weeks and started feeling really good. However, very quickly it started to feel very restricting, very almost like obsessive and all these things that, a lot of us get into with diets. And when we started talking about it, I helped her to see, well, her team of light, really, I'm not going to take credit, but as a channel, I was able to deliver the message that it's not all or nothing. And what out of this eating style do you like? And she'd go, oh, well, I like that I'm getting more protein. I like that it actually made me realize like, I don't need to eat so much processed food, or I've been making an intention to eat more vegetables. I really like that. My family's eating more vegetables. We're like, cool. So we found a middle ground. And it's like, what if you didn't have to be on the diet, but what you learned from the diet, you integrate into your regular eating. So I know I'm giving a very specific example here, but you could apply it to anything. You may go to the gym with a personal trainer and they show you a bunch of stuff. Does that mean that that one thing is supposed to be what you do forever? No. But those new moves you learn, those new exercises, confidence, maybe using machines or using weights, then you take that and fold it into your experience moving forward once you're done. So I know it might feel like I got a little bit off here, but it's because sometimes our next step. So that woman had these clear feelings of she wanted to try this diet. The diet wasn't the 100% thing that completely changed her life, completely changed her health. She did release some weight. She did cut down some inflammation. She felt more empowered about her health, and she was ready to step away from a rigid plan, but then folded in more protein, more vegetables. Her family's now eating more vegetables, and that was meant to come into her journey because she was asking for more health, which was also healing and being connected, like eating whole foods. And that was her vibe. So she learned what she needed to learn from that style of eating, released what she doesn't like, and found more balance, found more empowerment. With my healing journey, with my pain journey, I often come across like, oh, this shift to maybe it is in my nutrition to reduce inflammation, or this supplement, or Epsom salt baths, or whatever. And it's not that one thing is going to take away all the pain. It's a compound effect. So life will show me, hey, and a few years ago, life was showing me inner child healing kept coming out of nowhere constantly, and I hadn't ever gone that far into it. And man, 2023 and 2024 were massive healing years. So sometimes it's a synchronicity like that doesn't change everything about your life, but is an important step in the stepping stones. So I want to say that as we are led, as we get signs and synchronicities, we want to look at it as the next step. You're not responsible for every step. You're responsible for the next step. That's what your intuition is giving you, is like the most pressing thing, the thing that's next. So your intuition might start whispering about like walking more, getting out on more walks. It's not that just the walks are going to cure everything, but it's part of your health intention. It's part of your higher self daily practice. It's part of keeping your body fluid and moving and healthy as you age. And, it's just part of it. But your intuition gives you those breadcrumbs, those stones in the path. And it can feel challenging when we go for something. And even like my client, she's like, oh, this diet, like it didn't end up being the thing that healed everything. But after we worked through it, she realized actually it pivoted me. It sent me on a better path. I've cleaned up my nutrition and now I'm excited to eat more vegetables. So it actually did help. It was a stepping stone. So another way to look at it is that life is giving you signs and synchronicities, helping you along, helping you to grow into the version who can handle your next level. You're growing into the version that can hold that energetic capacity. You're growing into that version who can be in that confidence needed, take up the space needed, activate the throat chakra needed, right? So these signs, when we're being pulled this way, that way, it's again growing you into your next level. And I used to always think if something was meant for me, it would be easy. And I hate saying that because I really want to give you guys like fairy sprinkles and say everything's going to be easy when you do this one thing, but it's just not what I believe. I don't think that's how this human experience was meant to be. I think we definitely find more ease, more peace, more confidence, but the right path isn't smooth and effortless. The right path is a wobble. The right path is breaking down and building back up and seeing what's been, what is at the root of things, or, taking inspired action even when you're scared, or making big, bold moves for yourself, or showing up for yourself daily with self-care. Your right path is much more real than just sprinkle, 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 everything's going to be fine. You are on the right path. You are already on the right path. So if you're going like, yeah, but life isn't easy, I'll be like, yeah, that's because you're on the right path. And I know that sounds funny, but it's just the way I see it, even through the channel and through my team of light, because you're meant for evolution. Evolution doesn't come when everything's peachy keen. Growth doesn't happen when everything's comfy. Growth happens when you have to expand, when you have to learn more about yourself, when you have to get gritty, when you have to release, grow, let go, move on, be brave. All those things in the moment. Bravery is never easy. Pushing through fear is never easy, even as someone practices it. There are seasoned speakers that still get nervous before speaking on stage because they don't love crowds, but they get through it every time. It's never easy. A cold dip. It's never easy. Do you notice that? You do cold baths and it's almost like this never gets easier. I think the bravery part gets easier, but not the actual being in the cold. So signs don't just confirm what we want or take us directly to what we want. They call us into what we need to become that next level. So signs, synchronicities, just a little bit more about that. What I'm talking about is like seeing a lot of 111s, 222s. Maybe you have a deep connection to an animal such as an eagle or a butterfly or a dragonfly or a hummingbird or something. Maybe it's a certain number that reminds you of a loved one or a symbol of some sort. Maybe when you see, indigenous medicine women, or there's a certain place on earth that really calls you and you see like Paris everywhere. Signs can be literally anything. How you know it's a sign is when it sticks out to you. I like to say it glows because it feels like my cells light up, but it's something pulls your attention, something you notice, something, even if you're like, I have no idea what it means, I keep seeing sevens and it's crazy. Everything is like 777 and it's wild. Those are signs. Those are synchronistic events. Deepak Chopra talks about synchrodestiny because he really does believe that is when your destiny is synchronized with you in that moment and you're having a moment of alignment, a moment of when your destiny aligns with you and you're present for it. Then we get this like, woo, like, wow, that eagle, or I keep seeing butterflies and it just reminds me to keep going, or transformation or whatever. So signs and synchronicities can be anything. It's really how you feel. And you can always ask for signs from your spirit team, from loved ones, from your higher self. You can ask for signs if you're on the right path. And one of the big things to look for that I like to say is synchronicity more. Like like things where there's repeating numbers, repeating themes. Like I said to you a couple years ago, inner child work. I feel like everywhere I turned, inner child work. I had guests book it on to be on the show, and it was like inner child this, inner child that. And I was like, wow, this is really calling me. That was a sign. And what I discovered through that phase of a year or two of deep healing was so much more of myself, so much sacred healing, so much self-love, so much, clearing of the noise inside. And it was so definitely what I needed, and definitely wasn't easy. I hired people. It took money. It took showing up to sessions. It took facing pain from a different way and being with it, and sadness. And it took a lot, but it definitely was the right path. So I like to look for synchronistic events, certain things coming in, phrases, maybe it's a certain teacher or books or whatever that comes in to show you something. And often I would just suggest to everyone as a blanket statement, you don't need to go look online like, what does 4 mean? What does 6 mean? I really believe, and if that's your path, if you know numerology and that's the way you operate, then yes, do it. But I really believe that our team is just giving you these little nudges of like, your team's like, you're not alone. You're on the right path. Keep moving forward. Look up, kid. You're doing a great job. You're worthy of love. You're doing great. That's what they're saying. So some days I'm seeing an 1111, and then it's a 333, and then it's a 555. I'm not going to go and like either consult the channel or Google something, every single little number, every single little sign. If a butterfly or a hummingbird comes in repeatedly, ongoingly, and your mind goes like, I want to Google, do it. But it's also just engaging with life, being a life reader, watching what life is offering you and going inside and going like, what could that mean to me? Why do I think that's coming? What does that make me feel? What was I just thinking about? What am I going through right now? And intuitively feeling into what that sign means. And then of course, if you really feel called, go for it. Google it, whatever. Life, universe, source, your higher self is leading you to a destination of what you've asked for. That's why people say like, when you ask, it's done. And it's like, okay, well, where's the sack of cash, right? Where's the fame and fortune? Where's the health, whatever it is. And remember that life isn't just leading you to that destination. It is, but it's shaping you along the way. So if you just assume that you are going to reach those goals, you are going to have that business or, accumulate wealth or find love or be able to travel or whatever, how is this thing shaping me along the way? Is it having me practice trust and faith? Is it having me build resilience? Is it having me look at something I have been unwilling to look at? Is it having me become more confident and take action and show up for myself? Straight into a lesson. Life isn't just leading you to the destination, it's leading you straight into a lesson, straight into the resistance, into the thing you need to master, straight into a situation that forces you to break through the old pattern. So you ask for more money, and if you're my client, I've said this so many times, but if you're asking for more money, something is going to come up with money. It could be an unexpected expense. It could be your income dips for a month, or you have some sort of like, the other day I had an NSF fee just from an account that I don't use except for like one payment. And I just completely blanked that it was coming out. And I was so annoyed to have to pay this fee, right? But I took a moment and I was like, you know what? Breathe through it, honored that it's annoying and I was feeling frustration, but then also said, you know what, it's okay, lesson learned. I got to be a little bit more tight with my money dates because I totally missed that one, and I'm going to be fine. And years ago, it would have been like, oh, no matter what I do, like money's being taken from me and like I could have spent that money on groceries and I had a few of those thoughts, but I also breathed through it, because when I'm faced with resistance in regards to money, or when I'm faced with a trigger in regards to money, if that's what I'm asking for, it's a lesson I need to master. Can I master staying in trust and faith even when this stupid fee came up? Can I not be triggered into lack and scarcity for longer than a couple minutes? Can I find abundance again? Can I find safety? Can I find trust? Can I find faith even when annoying things are happening? Or even when it appears like things aren't going the way I thought, right? So people often get frustrated with things like that and go like, why is this happening? I thought I was manifesting money. But what if that challenge is the manifestation? What if that lesson, that calling you to rise, is what's leading you directly to that thing? So it's almost like ask and it's given, and life is asking you to trust it's given. So if I ask for money and life is asking me trust that it's coming your way, it's unfolding, as soon as I get a bill or something like that happens and I go into like, see, I'm never going to manifest money, I like shoot myself back to square one. And now life is like, universe is like, you're not trusting. You're not trusting that it's coming. And I wouldn't be surprised at that point if life starts then sending me stuff about trusting. Rather than sending me the money, it now needs to show me that I need to work on trust, that I need to work on faith. So that's why when we get triggered and we go like, I thought I was manifesting the opposite of this. What if the money you desire is coming, but first you need to learn to heal your relationship with self-worth or with money? What if the love you want is on the way, but first you need help with boundaries? Or listening to your intuition when people are toxic, or self-worthiness for how you'll allow yourself to be treated? What if the dream business is meant for you, but first you're learning how to trust yourself, how to have confidence, how to show up powerfully? Everything you desire is tied to your evolution. Life isn't just giving you what you want, it's guiding you into the person who can hold it. You feel me? Okay, so we're almost done. I'm going to talk a little bit about leaning into your intuition and asking you some reflective questions that we're going to end on that you can integrate this stuff into your life. So I want to ask before, as we're wrapping up, do you actually lean in and trust the process when life gets unclear? And sometimes I don't. And even recently with business, if you guys have heard some of the changes and the updates episode, it doesn't even sound like a big deal on the surface, but on the inside, I am completely trusting in the unknown with my business. And I couldn't have done that a year ago. And so there's areas of my life when I'm in pain or things are happening where it's unclear and it's frustrating, and I fall into it too. But we really want to look at this. Are we leaning in and trusting the process when life is unclear? And I want you to start paying attention to where life is nudging you. What themes keep showing up? What opportunities or lessons keep repeating? And thinking about not resisting the uncomfortable growth. And when something feels frustrating or hard or like it's not happening, challenging yourself to dive straight in with, what am I meant to learn here? What is this calling me to learn / heal / whatever? And even if you don't know what exactly you're healing, it's like, man, I have no confidence. Like I feel so insecure. And that's where you could get help or read a book about self-healing or take a course or hire somebody or whatever. You don't always have to know all of your own core wounds. But when we look at it, we go, there's something here to heal. And that's now where life will start to guide you. So don't resist the discomfort as best you can. And I know that sounds so hard. It's like saying, don't wince when you eat a lemon. Like, just don't resist things that are uncomfortable. But ask yourself, what am I meant to learn? Turn your journaling, your praying, your meditating into that question. And then tuning into your body. So your intuition speaks through your body, gut feelings, energy shifts. Sometimes when you see something, and as I mentioned, it's like your body glows or something kind of swells up inside you. You get a tingle. It's almost like this feels important. That often comes through your body. So sensing and feeling as, the energy gets denser or lighter in your body, when you feel excited, when you feel relief, when you feel, or when something feels tight or constrictive, listening to that, tuning into your body, even going into meditations where you ask a question and just sit in that, tuning into your body to see what may be your next step or to guide you, to read life. As you go into certain situations, your body will tell you, tuning into your body because it's speaking to you as you go through life. Noticing when you're around certain people, what feels expansive, what feels constrictive. Social media, online, like what feels expansive, what feels constrictive. I'm noticing that. I'm being led by life. Life is a way shower. So in that way, sometimes we need to surrender what we thought we needed to do or the order we think we need to do it. Sometimes it's not the whole goal. It's just the path to get there. We may need to surrender. So being a little bit behind life, witnessing what life is showing you. I recommend something called a nudge journal, where for even just a week, you write down all the little nudges, all the synchronicities. You could even say, like, I looked at the clock and it was 3:33, right as I was thinking about starting my book. Writing them down for a week and seeing what life is actually showing you. Your intuitive nudges, the synchronicities, the signs, the angel numbers, like whatever it is, writing it all down and getting really present to like, whoa, life is definitely calling me to keep going. But I also notice that like there's something about confidence that I really need to heal. And we start to be able to see life as that, a way shower, showing us where we need to go and what we need to do in order to manifest, create what it is that we are wanting. Evolve into the person we're meant to evolve into. So let's end on a few reflective questions that I just want you to ask yourself. I will put them in the show notes below. So just ask yourself, where is life leading me right now? Am I resisting or allowing it? Where has life been leading me, and am I resisting or am I allowing? What challenges or patterns keep showing up for me, and what might they be teaching me? And if I trusted that things were happening for me and that my desires are given, how would this challenge be growing me, be showing me something, be refining me, be helping me along? So journal on them, see what comes up for you. I hope this episode resonated with you. I would love to hear your thoughts. You can find me on Instagram at Talia Joy Manifestation. I am intermittently there. You can send me a DM, let me know, or take a screenshot that you're listening. I'd love to know. I really love to know from you guys what hits home, what you enjoy, what, helps you along in your journey. And if you haven't subscribed already or left a review, again, it just helps so much. I would appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for being here today, for doing this deep work. We went deep today. Continue asking, what is here for me in this? You do that, and I will see you in the next episode. You're doing such a great job. Hey, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I really hope that it served you. So before you go, I want to share something with you. If you're loving these conversations about self-growth and healing and moving forward, and you're really ready for more tools, more implementation, more integration, more structure, more what do I do? I invite you over to On the Path. This is my only private community, and honestly, it's the place to be if you want to integrate, if you want to deepen your journey and you find my work helpful. Here's the vibe: bite-sized practices, ongoing support, deep dive episodes, weekly practices, monthly challenges, literally just keeping you on your path, showing up for yourself day by day, week by week, month by month. So this is where you really put it into action, and I've got your back with these assignments, tools, practices, shifts, deep dives, meditations, journal prompts, and literally everything you could need to carve out your unique journey of self-growth, self-healing, and transformation. So I'm not going to go on and on. If you feel called, you feel called. And if you check below, because you made it all the way to the end of this, you'll find a link to join On the Path for the first month for only $11. So after that, it's just $27 a month, and you can go at any time. Okay, my love, I genuinely hope this episode lit you up, and I can't wait to welcome you over to On the Path, and I cannot wait to see you also in the next episode. Thanks so much, and have a great day.